So since it is jumping into tailgate season, I was back home in Canada for a bit, and my dad's backyard, he had this little board, this little game. The board was about 16 inches by 4 feet. I got reading up on it. It was it's called Redneck Washers. It's a game where you throw 3 washers at a board, kind of similar to cornhole, but this board has 3 holes. First hole is 1 point, second hole is 3 points, and finally the third hole is 5 points. Today I'm going to use 2x2. I got pressure treated just because it would be laying in the ground in the grass, God knows where, just for durability purposes. So I pre-cut everything. I didn't feel like I should be doing a video on how to cut. I assume most of you that will be trying this or want to try this will be fluent enough to cut your own pieces. So I first cut the 2x2s to 4 feet, which will be the length of the board. Very sturdy 2x2. Now when you're shopping for 2x2, make sure it's straight. Just have a look down the 2x2 to make sure that it's straight. It's not crooked in any way or twisted. A lot easier to assemble that way. And then cut my end pieces to 13 3/4. I mean, you could use the width of the board can be anywhere from 1 foot to 2 foot. But I think my total width will be somewhere in the 16-inch range. So I pre-cut those, and then I should be ready to assemble. In the back, I did cut my OSB. I went with 1/2 inch. Tried out. Again, I went with the lightweight option. The OSB, I cut it to 16 by 4 feet. I had it here, so I figured I'd use that material up. So I'm going to go to the assembly. Fairly easy assemble. I'll be using 2-inch screws. 2-inch screws with pilot holes, just to make it really sturdy, and then we'll go from there. Alright, here's the assembly. I'm going to start drilling my pilot holes. I'm going to drill 8 pilot holes on each side. Just going to show one side, just to keep the video nice and short. I've already drilled my first pilot hole. Now I don't have any marks as to where I want to drill these pilot holes. I just make sure that they're evenly spread out. These are my screws. They're 2-inch. Again, might be a little excessive, but that's what I have. I don't have anything smaller than that at the moment, and I got a ton of these, so I might as well use them up. Again, if you have material at home, don't be afraid to use it up. That's what I do from previous jobs I've done around the house. Just going to drill these pilot holes and then move on to the next step. There we go. The reason why I drill pilot holes is because of the 2x2 has tendencies to crack and splinter. You don't want that. The pilot holes just help guide the screw in, and just make sure that everything's nice and tight. When you're screwing, just make sure have a steady grip on it so that the board, there's no gap between your 2x2 and the board. Okay, I've already screwed a few in. So I got 3 left. The one thing you want to make sure of is that you sink the screws in to the OSB so that they're not sticking out in any way. Again, we're going to have a piece of carpet kind of wrap our board. We don't want anything impeding the washers as they land on the board. So I'm just going to finish it up. Okay, the board is complete, sturdy, all the screws countersunk. might sand it down a little bit just so that the edges aren't as rough, so when I go put the carpet on, I don't get impeded by anything. So what I did, I jotted down on the rule sheet, it tells you where the holes are meant to go. So as you can see on the tape measure, this will be the top, this side, that'll be the bottom, and then the other board will be facing that way. So it says from the top, mark 8 inches and drill your hole below the 8-inch mark. So these are going to be 4-inch holes. So I marked 8 to 12, 16 to 20, and then 24 to 28. That'll be our last hole. Also mark the center with the center line, just so I know where to start, so that the holes are nice and centered in the board. So here, I'm just going to draw the holes out. Find something that's 4 inches. It could be a paint can, could be some tape like I have, can be anything really that's symmetrical. Got everything marked, and just going to draw around. Again, I don't have a Sharpie in the garage, and the house is being sprayed, being fogged for fleas, so I can't go in there. First thing I do, I'll drill a hole. Again, you could use a hole saw if you want. It's a lot easier, probably a little more precise, but again, we're going to be wrapping carpet around this and also inside the holes, so you do have some play. Alright, as you can see, I left it overnight. Looks to be glued on really well. All I have left to do is just wrap the carpet around the outside edge, making the proper cuts at the corners, and then cutting the holes out right here, just with pie-shaped cuts. Again, I got screws sticking out because I used up my 2-inch screws. No big deal. I'm just gonna, once I wrap the carpet around, you shouldn't even be able to tell. I want to start at one end, essentially. I put 2 in there. Okay, so finished the first board. Show the back side. Again, very easy, very simple. You know, it's nothing too extravagant. There's a lot more that you can do to the game to make it more, you know, luxurious, as you may say. You can grab a 4-inch PVC pipe and actually individualize your holes. Again, it's only, you know, finished product is not even 2 inches thick. Nice and sturdy though. If I was to redo it over again, probably use 3/4 inch plywood or OSB just to have it a little bit more sturdy, but I'm 210 pounds and it had no issues with me being on it. Yeah, looks good. Again, it's just a throw around game. So I used 3/8 staples on the corners where the carpet is bunched up from the folds. I put screws in with washers just so that you get extra hold there. Once you start getting 2 or 3 folds in there, the 3/8 staples have trouble holding. So one thing I did want to mention is at the start I was using this You know, you can get away with using this, but I got this this air stapler. Works well. It's just a lot easier for me to grip. So, and a lot quicker. Obviously, once I used this, it was night and day from the hand stapler. But again, probably most of you don't have an air stapler. No big deal. Hand stapler will work. Again, there's different ways of doing your circles. I cut them into pie shapes. As you can see, 8 of them. It's just a lot easier to fold them over so that the circle is nice and clean. So finished my boards. A few things that I added onto one, the back of the board, and then to the side of the board, handle on each one, on each side, obviously, to be able to carry them a little easier. Nice little handles, be able to grab the boards up and go. And then I received my washers today. They came in these nice little velour pouches. I bought them on eBay. Either in the comments section or anything, let me know if you're having trouble finding them. They're 2.5-inch washers. So on the back of each board, just screwed on the velour pouch. Now I got 4 of them. The game is played with 3. I just got a spare one just in case I lose one or anything like that. Again, the washers are 2.5 inches in diameter. So if I can grab my measuring tape and show you, 2.5 inches. The holes are 4. Again, this game is not meant to be as challenging as other games. It's just meant to pass time and have fun. So again, each team throws 3 washers. It's not alternating. First team that goes up throws all 3 washers. Second team up throws their 3 for a chance to knock one in or whatnot. You get a point for all 3 on the board. The scoring of the holes is 1, 3, 5. Game up to 21. Fairly simple. A lot of fun. Like I said, I've played it before, but I just recently played it up north and decided to build myself a set. So again, these washers, again, they just slide into the pouch behind, just tighten it up and you're ready to go. I did the same on the other one right here. Put them together. I got both my handles here. I'm able to carry them nice and light compared to my cornhole board. Now they came out really nice. The adhesive really worked really well, especially around the holes. Again, since the carpet is fairly new, it might seem like they're octagons, but as the carpet relaxes over time, they'll just relax along the circle, so no big deal. One other thing I wanted to mention, in the corners, my joints, I just added a little bit of silicone or any adhesive just to make sure that the corners don't flop out. Again, I put tons of staples in there. Like I said, I had an air stapler, so it made it really easy. Underneath the flaps, instead of adhesive, again, I just used silicone just along the edges and then stapled over top of it just so it has a nice tight seal, no moisture can get in. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, turned out really nice. If anybody needs a set built, let me know, and then we can go from there. But again, turned out really nice.